Welcome to the UFO Woman Show. I'm your host, Melissa Kennedy. And today's episode is going to have my dear friend from West Virginia, but he now lives in Kentucky. And in fact, he's the Kentucky MUFON State Director, as well as a paranormal investigator, and so many other things. He's a great guy, and I'm so happy to have him here tonight. Please help me welcome Barry Gaunt. Barry, hey, how are you, man?
Hey, Melissa, how are you doing?
I'm good, sweetie. I'm good. Yeah, same here. We're always talking on the radio, you know.
That's true. We're either talking on radio or we're talking or on Facebook or somehow.
Yeah, we are.
But it's awful good to see you this morning.
Same here. Same here. My gosh, where do we start? Because you and I have some common threads as well as some other things that we could talk about, not only UFOs, but paranormal.
Yeah, that is so true. You know, we do so many different things as far as, most of my whole life I've spent through nothing but the paranormal in every field. And one of the things that I have felt like and know that is happening, and I'm glad to see some of the rest of the community is going towards it, is that they're all interrelated. They all have the same thing that's going on, and we all need to look at that because it's all part of that puzzle, all part of that gigantic puzzle.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I get asked the question, well, are you just doing paranormal or UFOs? I said, honestly, it's all interconnected. It really is. And one feeds off the other, and there's interlacings of topics here. So, yeah. Why we do what we do, right?
And when we, where we come from in West Virginia,
yes,
the folklore is so steeped. And as children, that's all that we talked about. We listened to Grandma and Grandpa and all the old folks tell stories of things. And that's what brought us to where I think we both are today.
Yeah.
And it's, the Appalachian Mountains and all that area up there still has a strange hold to us all.
It does. Yes. Well, we both kind of grew up not too far from each other, north central West Virginia area.
Correct.
Yeah, oh my gosh, you and I go way back in a lot of ways before we knew each other. But the Flatwoods Monster, Grafton Monster,
yeah.
all this stuff, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But I'm just so excited to finally have you on my show. I've been on your radio show, twice?
Twice, exactly. Yeah. It's a pleasure to be on your show. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Tell the folks what your radio show is called and where they can find it.
You can find the radio show Into the Far. And notice the far part, it's kind of like West Virginia. I still can't talk like a darn son of a gun. But it is called Into the Far. And it is on blogtalkradio.com/Into the Far. It's every Tuesday night, and it is on at 8 p.m. And Eric Mitchell and myself host that show. And we try to do a 2-hour show, and we kind of do it like it's in our living room. You've been on it before, and we cover a lot of deep subjects, and we just have fun with it as much as we can.
Absolutely.
And get this great information out to people, And, man, right. You set us off on a whole new path with your books. And talking about RH and blood and everything else.
Oh, I know, the RH negative. Yeah, that was fun. I talked to you for it was a 3-hour show, wasn't it?
Yeah, it did. It was.
Yeah,
it was.
Cool.
We just kept going.
We just kept going.
It seemed like a 20-minute show.
It really did. It really did. I looked at my clock. I was like, dang it. Time's up already. All right, cool.
Exactly.
Well, I gotta mention something that I saw in the background of where you're sitting right now. It says, "Don't wake the bear."
Yes, exactly.
You're bear. Bear.
Yeah.
So,
bear is always awake, unfortunately.
Yes.
And everybody keeps on telling me to slow down and do other things.
Well,
but
that's one of
it's
your
more
nicknames.
like it should be do not feed the bear.
Yeah.
Or
don't poke the bear.
don't poke the bear.
Right. Well, that's your nickname, Bear, but you also go by another name, which is the Kentucky Truth Seeker.
That is correct. I've had that for a long, long time. When I moved to Kentucky, I've been in Kentucky now for 23 years.
Okay.
And I needed to come up with something. It's kind of funny. Back when, it's not like it is now. You didn't want to really be, I try not to have any ego. I don't try to have anything. So I created this other personality so that no one could actually follow me around and everything else. Nowadays, I get the attention of a lot of different things, black helicopters, all that kind of fun stuff. And back in the old Kentucky Truth Seeker days, but yes, I do use Kentucky Truth Seeker quite a lot. It's my Gmail account number, and it's something that it's come along. And unfortunately, at one point, when you're on Facebook, not to yell at anybody or not to say anything kind of weird on Facebook. They do monitor you quite a lot, and for some reason, you see a whole lot of different names.
Yes.
But for some reason or other, they decided that they wanted to know who the Kentucky Truth Seeker was, and sent me a letter saying, "You better have a driver's license as Kentucky Truth Seeker, or you're going to lose your account." So that's exactly what happened.
No way! I didn't know that.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I got my YouTube channel shut off. I got all that stuff shut off.
Your YouTube channel was shut off, and censorship. But see, here at We Beam TV, we don't have any of that. We don't have censorship, which is awesome.
Most excellent.
Yes, it really is.
We try to get the word out. We try to enlighten people, make them think about some things. I mean, it's just like you do, and with your conferences and everything else, which you do a fantastic job at.
Oh, thank you.
It's just awesome. So.
Oh my gosh! Well, let's dive in, my friend. I'm going in head first. It is the UFO Woman show, so I got to talk about UFOs. You are the Kentucky MUFON State Director. Kudos for that, by the way. I know that's a very, very difficult job title to receive. You've been with MUFON how many years?
I've been with MUFON I started with MUFON back in 2006.
Okay.
I've held several different titles. I was a DOI at one point with the if you will, headquarter MUFON. I have been through everything. I left MUFON for about 2 years, and then I came back to MUFON and took over the state director's position here in Kentucky, and I've had it since. I really enjoyed dealing with the people. I love my investigators. We do things, let me say, we're more boots on the ground. We have a great team. I really appreciate it. We work with others. That's one of the things that you don't see very much nowadays.
Right.
My good and wonderful friend down in Tennessee, Angelia Shear, and Oh yeah, we do quite a lot of stuff, and it's just a pleasure to have people like that around you. I just had her on my radio check. She came out with a new book, and it's wonderful. It's a good thing, and it's MUFON. And right now, it is breaking wide in Kentucky. I don't know what you're getting down there in Florida right now, but we've had a lot of this stuff. Unfortunately, a lot of it is linked to whatever Elon Musk is doing with the Skylink. Everybody's saying all that stuff. We had 6 cases just on March 5th. And finding out, he's launched so many of these darn things and putting it all together to find out which ones it is, if it's not. And and a lot of people don't know about it.
Oh, I know. When you mention Skylink to the average person, they have no clue what you're talking about. So for our audience that maybe doesn't know what we're talking about, you want to dive into that just a little bit and educate them on that?
What he's doing is putting up a network of satellites to provide internet for everyone. Yes, Skynet, exactly. Yeah. And it's called, and his company is SpaceX.
Right.
And he's doing all this. And what happens is when you see them go by, he launches them and they're not in orbit yet. So when they're going in orbit, they're just going like this.
Yeah.
And each launch he has will have a different orbit. So when you do this, when you look at it, you'll see a train of like several different objects all in a line, and they just keep on coming, and people are going, "We're being invaded."
Yeah.
We've got a serious problem up here.
Yeah, you're probably getting phone calls and, "Hey, Barry, we just saw a bunch of UFOs." You're like, "No, that's Elon Musk stuff." I mean, we're good.
But at the same time, it always makes you wonder, because some of the things that they report or some of the pictures that I've seen are totally different than what the train looks like. You know, you can go to YouTube and put down Space Link and look at what a Space Link train looks like. They put quite a lot on the YouTube channels now, but it is causing some different problems. But when you get, having some of these reports are saying they're going in different directions. Some of them saying that they're merging into others. So that's when you have to look at it a little bit different, and you have to say, okay, right. And if you're only seeing 5 to 10 of them, it's okay. If you're seeing 50 to 60 of them, chances are you're going to go saying, well, that's SpaceX.
Right, that's SpaceX.
Skylink, yeah.
So is that part of what your job is as the Kentucky State MUFON Director, is you take these reports and you investigate them? I'm just trying to bring our audience up to speed. I know what you do, but I want to tell people that don't know what you do, what it is that you do.
Sure. Well, as a state director, I have a lot of different responsibilities. And one is to increase the membership in the area, hold meetings, to inform people about what's going on in Kentucky, what's going on elsewhere, and bring awareness to the UFO field and also MUFON. One of the things that I also do is train investigators, bring them on and work with them hand in hand. I've been doing investigations for a long time, and I've been a certified MUFON investigator since 2006. I have been a STAR team member since 2008 when it first started. So I've been a lot of different investigators and on a lot of different investigators, and I am a strict boots on the ground type investigator. I don't sit behind this desk all the time. I'm always out going to the places so I can see and talk to these people face on face. That makes a big difference. So I take my investigators with me, and we work on how to do the correct investigations and so forth. And then I also do publicity stuff just like this.
Yes,
I get to talk.
I love it. Well, I want to go UFO hunting with you. I mean, what?
I would love to have you. And, it's funny, we do a lot of different things, and I know we'll probably talk about Octagon Hall here, but
yeah, we will.
One of the best places to watch sky watching, we have a 300-acre facility there.
Oh, you have 300 acres around that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, we take care of about 10 acres of it, and the rest of it is put out for sublease to farming. But at certain times, the farms, it's not active, like right now.
Right,
it's a great time to go out and look at the sky. And it is
my gosh. I'll be up with my camper. I'm going to come up, and I'm going to go UFO hunting.
You just come on.
I'll come on up. Okay.
We'll have a sky watch. No problem at all.
You all heard that. He invited me up, so I'm going.
Yeah. Anytime you'd like, that. Door's always open.
Thank you so much. Well, my gosh, let's look at some of the footage that you have sent us with some UFO photos and things that you have that you sent over. I want you to take us through the different photos and what it is that we're looking at with these UFO photos, and then if we have time, we'll talk about some other things. So right here, what are we looking at here? What is this? We are.
I can't see it, so.
Yeah, we're looking at. There's like an arrow. You've got a couple of pictures that are blown up.
Oh, okay. That is actually. I got it. What actually that is a photo that I was back at the backfield of Octagon Hall. That field is one of those fields that I'm talking about. That's part of the 300 acres. Very unusual thing. It sounded like a ripping sound.
Oh, wow.
And so with this sound, I immediately turned, and I had a camera because I was taking pictures of some damage that was out there due to a storm, and I needed to get those pictures. And all of a sudden, I hear this zzz, like that.
Wow.
And I quickly turned around, and this thing just goes poof. And I just quickly grabbed my camera. I didn't even really focus on it. I didn't do anything. I just went think, think, think like that.
Wow.
And I did get it. And it was moving at an incredible speed. What's unusual is the direction of it. If you look at it, it looks something like something out of Star Trek.
Yeah, I was going to say Star Trek or something. Sci-fi movies are coming in my head here.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And what's so weird about it, it was only there for a second. I mean, it was moving.
Wow.
And the odd thing about it is that what looks like the front of the craft is actually the back of the craft.
Oh, and it kind of has a pointed look. It looks like it would
right.
be front,
Right. The end of it is more pointed. I mean, so that's when you look at it. It looks like it's flying this way. It should. I mean, to me and to my mind, I go, wow, it should be shaped that way.
That's cool.
But no, it's shaped the other way, which is really weird.
That's cool. You sent us another picture that I really liked. That it was a V shape. It has lots of different colored lights. Let's talk about that, because that reminds me a little bit of the Phoenix lights that I saw back in 1997. It's very similar in the shape. Tell us about this picture here.
That picture is off of a video that was sent to MUFON. It's a MUFON case that was up in Cave City area, right above Mammoth Cave. And they had an excellent video of it. And I pulled that out of that video because it was the best picture I could take of the craft. Silent, nothing major. It was about 300, they say 300 feet away from them at about a 60-degree angle above the horizon.
Okay.
But, I thought, wow, what a special shot that is. It's a really good one.
You have any idea the speed that it was going, or?
Actually, at that time, and the reason why the picture is kind of like it is, it stopped and hovered.
Oh, okay.
That's why he was able to get, he's filming it, and then all you see is like the camera, go foop, like that. And at that point, when it did, which was amazing at the time, you've seen, I don't know if you've seen so many videos. What happens is people are using it like this and they're moving it like this, so it makes it look like it's moving anyway.
Yeah.
But when he's watching it, it comes and it goes like, almost goes, whoop, and there he is. He gets that, and then it goes like that. So it did hesitate for a minute and go like that. So I always enjoyed that picture.
Wow.
I've got so many of them, and unfortunately, I'm like going, oh, what do you send? What do you send? And then finding them, because I move them around a lot, because I do have problems with certain things. Trying to take those from me.
Right.
I hate to sound paranoid or anything like that, but you're like going.
No, you're not being paranoid. I totally understand. Things just mysteriously disappear. So let's talk about this one. There's the red and the green lights. It almost looks like a flower or something. What is that?
I gotta remember that.
It's got the red and the green. It's like
four lights.
Yeah, looks like a 4-leaf clover.
Exactly. That was seen in eastern Kentucky, and it was again a moving craft that was taken from somebody from a car. It was a video again. Some of the things about, what I like about being able to get the pictures from, this is not actually still pictures. What happens is that you can create a good picture off of video, because as they're doing the video at one time, if something happens to the craft or moves, you've got different options to be able to take. And then at that time, I can pull it out of that to be able to actually see what the heck's going on.
Well, my question then for you as the state director, what's some of the guidelines that MUFON gives you to investigate these videos or photos? Something that would differentiate it from, a fake one, or...
Sure.
How do you do that?
Actually, MUFON has its own... people that will look at videos and be able to analyze that. Here in Kentucky, sometimes those people are very busy, so we have our own, and I vet my own companies that have been doing video for a long time, and I have them look at it to tell me what it is, so that, as part of the things that you set up as your network to be able to do the kind of investigation you want, because you do want to definitely be able to downplay videos. The only bad thing about it is, and people go, why don't you post more on things when you get these videos? Well, what happens is there's been a lot of good evidence that goes to waste because of the fact that there are so many armchair quarterbacks sitting out there behind the computer. They're looking, and if one person says that's fake or that's CGI,
Yeah.
there is a whole horde of or a million of people that don't.
They're skeptical.
Oh,
right.
Yeah, I believe that. If I told you that the sky was moon and blue and full of cheese, they would be going, "He's right. That's right. Exactly."
Yeah. Yeah, and it damages your credibility as a state director, and I understand
it does.
that. You can't put all your evidence out there because, like you said, there's going to be somebody that comes along that's uneducated, and they're not knowledgeable about what we're talking about, and And especially social media. Social media is disastrous. You get
disaster.
one bad comment, next thing you know, you get 100 bad comments, and your reputation gets ruined. So I respect that. I respect that a lot.
The thing about it is one of the things that let me just cover that real quick.
Yeah, please.
One of the cool things that we do is those meetings I was telling you about. When we have a meeting, that allows us to be able to talk about all the cases that we close. We protect the imminent. The identity, excuse me, of our sources and our witnesses. But we do talk about the cases and how we came about it and how we determined what it was, whether it's an unknown and identified object and so forth like that. So, and all the states have meetings. So if you're in a state and you want to go to a meeting, this is where you can find the way that it is, and the state director has that choice to be able to make those calls. And I do it all the time. I let people know this is what we've done. This is what we're working on. Can't go into it too much. This is what it looked like, and explain to it. So
yeah, I hear you. Hey, buddy, cheers to some meetings and full disclosure, right?
Hallelujah.
I love that. Well, oh my gosh. Okay, we have I think another picture or two to discuss before we head into the paranormal. So let's look at this one here. This looks like angel wings or something. I don't know. It looks like Darth Vader's ship or something.
You're not going to believe this one. This is one that I actually took myself, and this was in. I was out having lunch in Woodburn, Kentucky, with three of my friends, Billy Bird from Octagon Hall, and another gentleman was with us, and we were sitting outside, and beautiful day. Looked up, and I go, what is that moving in the sky? And I just happened to have the camera, so I ran and got it, and I took those pictures. I took a set of them, and I could see it moving away and everything else. I don't know what the heck that is. I tried to find more and more information about it. It looks like almost like a V. All I do know, it had maneuverability. It wasn't following the wind. It wasn't following in directions like that. At one point, it actually turned this way. So, but the way that I caught it, it's sitting at this angle.
Oh,
and,
wow.
A lot of times, and that's when you have to call in another person. I've got other investigators that say, please come and investigate my case, because when we're out in the field, sometimes we become a witness ourselves.
Right.
We're out doing something, and we don't do our own cases, so I have to have someone else be able to look at that and say, hey, you're right, this is what it is. Because
I that picture right there, it kind of reminds me of a cloud in a way.
It does.
We know that they can cloak as clowns. Clowns.
Yes.
Clouds. Clowns. It's all the same.
Hey, yeah, and I got a fear of clowns.
You have a fear of clowns.
It's crazy, but I have a fear of clowns. So.
You're not scared of intergalactics or extraterrestrials, but you are scared of clowns.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, if there is an intergalactic clown out there, don't come to my house.
Clowns. Wasn't that a movie or something?
It should be.
That's hilarious. I love that. That's
unfortunately
great.
I won't watch it.
Yeah, you're not going to watch it. You're scared.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right, that's too funny. Well, anyway, So that was pretty cool. I mean, I'm seeing some Star Wars looking ships in that picture. It kind of looks like a cloud. It looks like an angel. I don't know. That's an interesting picture.
It is, and that's where it has to stay because it's unknown.
It's
I don't
unknown.
know what it was. It was maneuvering, and it was actually going against the wind.
Oh, against the wind. Oh,
yeah, the
okay.
wind was going coming from the southeast, and it was going. I was sitting straight on 31W, and it was going totally south.
Wow. All right. Cool.
So,
Well, let's
yeah.
look at your last UFO photo real quick. Let's
Sure.
Let's take a look at that one. Oh, that was it. Okay, never mind. That
Okay,
was it.
great.
Sorry about that. That was the last one. All right. Well, that's cool. What else can you share with us about MUFON and about your UFO investigating before we get into paranormal? Anything else you want to share?
We are always looking for members. You can go to www.mufon.com. You can go to join, and you can sign up everything there. We're also always looking for field investigators. I get a lot of people that contact me and go, I want to become a field investigator. I want to become a field investigator.
Right.
And I just always have to refer them to the way that it is you have to become a member first.
Right.
And you're assigned to the state that you are in. So you become a member, you take a test. Every FI or field investigator is certified by taking an exam. MUFON is always trying to educate us and be that way. A lot of people, I find it funny, we get investigators that come on board, and I don't think they understand what investigation is. It takes a lot to be an investigator.
A lot of hours, a lot of dedication.
It's a lot of hours.
And it's a nonprofit organization.
Exactly.
So people
yeah.
have to
It's
realize that you're doing this because you have a passion for it.
Exactly.
It's not a job.
Exactly.
It's something that you have a passion for it. And by the way,
No.
I am a MUFON member, and I really enjoy getting the journal and the TV part of the MUFON TV. I think that's really
right.
good.
Yeah, MUFON's got a lot of good things going. They have had bad raps before, but look, folks. Everybody has it. You look anywhere, it's always happening. We try to keep it straight.
Yeah.
And we do the best that we can do. And we get out the information out. It's a great source of being able to look for, see what's going on, and understand it. But when you're in the field, that's a lot different. It's a fun thing. So please, if you're interested in it, join. Do not, I'm sorry, I'm going to say this too. Please don't become a field investigator just so you can have an ego trip and go, hey, I'm a field investigator.
Yes.
And use it in another way. I hate that, and I see that every once in a while.
I agree with you.
They're so far away from it, it's ridiculous.
Well, people don't understand how many hours of dedication you have to put into an investigation. I mean, you're researching, you're taking, interviews, you're taking notes, you're looking up stuff, and
Exactly.
it's a lot. It's a lot. So that was a good disclosure there. I like that. Don't become a field investigator if you don't want to put the time in, because
right, exactly.
Yeah.
It is time consuming.
It is. Well, you've been doing, gosh, speaking of time, let's talk about let's talk about how many years you've been doing UFO and paranormal investigating. Since 1976, correct?
Since 1976, yeah.
Wow.
I was very fortunate enough to, I was in the radio for a while. And
you have that radio voice, Barry.
Well, thank you.
You have the radio voice.
But we were doing radio. I got sent to an interview to interview a gentleman at Case Western Reserve. And I interviewed this gentleman. Isn't it terrible? I'm sitting here going, now, what the heck was his name? See, when I started, I used to have black mustache and all that stuff. And now...
The black mustache is now gray.
Right, yeah. All that stuff is all going away. You start talking about, his name like the best thing in the world, and all of a sudden you're going, oh, crap, now what am I going to do?
Oh, no, that's okay. We'll blame it on the coffee. We're going to blame it on the coffee. Have another drink.
Yes. Good idea.
Yeah, exactly.
More bourbon, please.
Yeah. Oh, you're killing me. All right.
Anyway, I interviewed him, and he invited me to a ghost hunt.
Oh, cool.
And that's how I got started with it, and I really enjoyed it. I had a really nifty recorder at the time, and because it was from the radio station, it was a Marantz double set recorder. He had problems with his sound technician at that time, and he asked me if I'd go along and bring the recorder.
Oh.
And so he did. I mean, back at that point, when if you didn't use that kind of stuff, you were using reel to reel. I mean, it's amazing how the field just changed and all the equipment's come back and everything else. But, as I get older and been through all of it and tested all this type of different equipment and everything else, I still just like sitting in a house and just waiting and
just
listening.
And
just
listen.
using this stuff, using your senses, using a recorder, possibly spirit communications with a ghost box or something like that. And it's just fun.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable.
It is. It really is. One of the things I always think is kind of cool is just putting some flour or something on the floor and then just see if there's any, footprints or, something just really basic. You don't have to spend thousands of dollars.
You don't have to spend thousands of dollars.
No.
And sometimes it's best to do it. But it's, if you sit down and you listen and you do it, I always tell people they're trying to get into it. Remember that 80% of this stuff is research. You want to, when you go to a place, research it. We do a tremendous amount of residentials helping people.
What's the name of can you tell our audience what the name of your paranormal team is?
Oh, certainly. The name of the paranormal team is Night Stalkers Paranormal Research Team.
Okay.
We've been around for over 10 years now. And we've all had different teams, and obviously, I've had a few different teams. I've been with different teams throughout the years.
Yeah.
And also been an independent investigator, and we all do the same thing. A team is something that's really enjoyable because
it's special, isn't it?
Yes, each person has a certain value to that team.
Right.
And when you get that correct mix, it's wonderful. Things really click.
And what I've noticed, and what I've noticed in my paranormal investigating is each person in the team brings their own special skills or gifts. I mean, you might have somebody that's psychic. You might have somebody who is an empath. I mean, you start to bring these people together, and then next thing you know, you've got a full circle of paranormal investigating just in the people on your team. So it's cool. It really
Excellent point, and that's what we have, and it's a family. We are a family, and we do it to the 9th degree as a family. There's no ego here. It's just Night Stalkers Paranormal.
Oh, yeah, no ego. You got to leave the ego at the door, so.
Yeah, that's one of the things that people will have a problem with. It's just not the Barry Gaunt show. It's not anybody else's show. It's just... It's just us doing what we do best.
Exactly.
And what we like to do.
And you do a great job at the museum that you are part of, the Octagon Hall Museum. Let's talk about the Octagon Hall Museum. First of all, super cool looking building. I think we have a couple of pictures that we can show of this Octagon Hall Museum. It's beautiful. I mean, there's a nice older picture of it. Tell us about it, the history. And
we have a lot of history with it. The hall is an 8-sided building. It's an octagon. It's only one of 4 that are left in the country still standing. That is a pure octagon. It's a 3-story octagon. You'll see that it has a basement, a main floor, and an upstairs. It also has a cupola on top of it. We rebuilt the cupola. The few first pictures that you'll see was after a lightning strike of the house when it burnt the cupola off. It took us a few years, like 90, to actually rebuild it. They took it off, and then but the house is now the cupola is back on top of the house. And I think you'll see some pictures with the cupola on it.
Okay.
But the history is so deep in it. It goes back to antebellum times, which is pre-Civil War. That means that it is.
Right.
Andrew Jackson called.
Right for paranormal.
Quite right, because of all the tragedy and everything else. We'll get into that because it was built in 1847. It's 173 years old.
Wow.
It's a beautiful building. It has an architecture behind it. It has Civil War history. It has tragedy of families, and we try to keep it as a working piece of history to tell its own story. We let people get right up close to it. When you walk into a building, some of these museums you have now are roped off.
Oh, yeah,
they
they're
show you
roped
the
off.
nice stuff.
Right.
You get a look in, and you go, "Oh, isn't that nice?" Well,
Yeah,
we encourage you to
there.
come in, and sit in, look at it, get up close, and see it. We have a lot of Civil War active things, and a lot of things that are the period of the 1850s. And throughout the Civil War.
And it's in Franklin, right? It's in Franklin, Kentucky?
It is in Franklin, Kentucky. It's just about, maybe 50 minutes north of Nashville on I-65, off of I-65. It's about 20 minutes south of Bowling Green, Kentucky, where the Corvettes are. It's very easy to come. We get a lot of Corvette people that come down and they do their tours and they go on their rides, and they stop in and see us.
Cool.
The paranormal part of it was a surprise. The building, we're a nonprofit 501c. It was set up so that we could save history. We wanted to be able to save the history stuff. Unfortunately, museums and everything don't do a big deal, especially one that's just not owned by the state or the government. We just promote it. We all work for free for it, everything that we do. And even if we charge, it's a donation to help bring and upkeep the home and keep it up as much as we can to save our history. But it doesn't, all of a sudden we're in there, and Billy Bird, the director, had a moment when he didn't believe in the paranormal. He wasn't a paranormal person, and all of a sudden he's doing some upkeep on the home, and a little girl appears. Oh. And he's like going, "Hello, honey, are you lost? Are you here with somebody?"
Wow.
And tries to talk to him, and then she just kind of goes and disappears.
Oh, wow.
And that kind of made him a believer.
Yeah,
and
it would.
And over the years, it's just continued and continued. And there's so much tragedy there. We have a family tragedy at the house. I won't take the time to do it, but people can definitely look at the website, octagonhallmuseum.com, and see some of the things about the history. If you're a ghost hunter and like to come down and hunt the house, we have a calendar there where you can actually get online and book the hall.
Oh, nice. So if I wanted to bring my team up, I could bring my paranormal team up, and we could do an investigation and just do a little calendar, select the dates that we want to come. And is there a charge for that? I mean, or is it free?
What we do is in that case, it is if you bring, we have a minimum. Octagon Hall has been on every TV show and every TV channel that I can think of in the past. There's been a lot of great investigators that come there and have done it. We don't charge a tremendous amount. We charge $300 minimum to have the house, and that's from 3:30 in the afternoon until the next morning at 7 o'clock in the morning. And you get the house that whole night to be able to investigate it.
So could I boondock my RV out in the parking lot?
Yes, we have that happen a lot. We have people boondock our RVs and everything else. And what it is basically, when I say that's up to 6 people.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's $50 a person. If you bring 8 to 10, then it's just an additional $50 per each person.
Cool.
And I'll tell you one thing, I don't think you'll find a paranormal location that will be as more reasonable and be as effective as doing and coming to Octagon Hall.
Well, you sent us some pictures of some paranormal investigating at the hall.
Oh, yeah.
Right? All right, let's pull up one of those and let's talk about one of them. I don't care which one. We'll just pull one up. All right,
there's kind of a woman floating out of the wall. If you've got that one.
We're looking at one that has a ladder, and it looks like it has a fireplace mantle. Okay. Here's the one with the lady, and the closet. Yeah. What is that? What are we looking at?
Oh, we got one in the closet. That's downstairs, and we have an image of a person who that downstairs basement, and I'm trying to go around the hall and be the best that I can with it, because there's so much stuff we can spend hours talking about the Octagon Hall. It's that great. That is down in the bottom basement. That is where Andrew Jackson Caldwell, the builder, had a storage area back there that was actually, he would knock down the wall, put Confederate soldiers behind that wall, and then brick it back up again.
What?
And they would stay hidden in there. Yes, exactly. There are hiding spots in the hall. There's actually a tunnel in the hall. There are so many different things. I mean, we had 9,000 Confederate soldiers there, 5,000 Union soldiers. It is a lot of tragedy, a lot of things. Well, but they're physical beings, and these are some of the great things that you can see there at the Octagon Hall. We've done. I've hunted the hall. We do novice hunts also, which allow people that are not have a team to be able to come and spend some time with us. We've got one coming up on the 28th, and I've got to just start a new one on April 11th. $50 per person. It's all the donation goes to save the hall. We don't take any money on it at all. It's all for the hall. And you spend the same thing. You spend the whole night with me and our team, and we go out and do investigations. So we do the ghost stuff. But that picture is just a photo of something that was caught. And in fact, one of my investigators' son was the first time that he was there, and he was using a camera. We were telling him, make sure you take 3 pictures. And that's one of the ones he caught.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's an awesome thing.
That's really cool. Yeah, now we're looking at another one. I think that maybe that is the guy that's got the camera there. I'm not really sure. But it looks like there's 2 apparitions there. Looks like there's 2 of them.
Oh, yeah. You're looking at the one that's it's got a gentleman in a wheelchair, correct?
Yes.
That is one of the most amazing photos ever. It's a Night Stalker's paranormal photo. It was a great capture. It was, if you're in that room at that time, there was a camera going. It was an infrared. The first picture of it was actually an infrared. What you're looking at is a black and white, I do believe.
Yes, it is.
Brings it up a little bit better. That's a real person in the wheelchair. Unfortunately, he has passed. God bless his soul. He was a good investigator. And there's also another one that's to his
left.
Left, yes, exactly. But in that picture, you will see 2, possibly 3 spirits forming. The camera was set to take pictures every 8 seconds. It took 163 photos. We knew something was going on right away because your ears were popping. The electromagnetic field was just spiking. Your skin was crawling. You knew something was. As soon as we were done with it, we immediately had a group there. We took it out, put it in a computer, and started looking at it, and you could see them forming. Then you have that picture, and then you have them disappearing. And 2 full-body apparitions. We believe them to be female.
I was going to say they look female. But
they're semi-floating. They don't have any legs. But one of the coolest things that I've ever seen about it, one, that's like the Holy Grail, full-body apparitions.
Yes.
Seeing 2 of them together is very unusual.
Jackpot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then what's really strange is that if you look at one of the picture,
yeah, we have a close-up. We have a close-up.
The lady is actually holding an inanimate object, which is a shepherd cane, and she has that in her hand. She's actually, one of them is actually leaning on a shepherd's cane.
Wow.
Which is totally bizarre.
Oh my
gosh. It's a great photo.
Any speculation as to who they might be? I mean,
I believe that it may have been his second wife.
His second wife. Okay.
Harriet, and one of her servants or handmaidens that worked with her. Yeah.
So how many people how many people, like, would you say have lived there or occupied the hall over the years? Well,
Octagon Hall, one of the strange things about Octagon Hall is it's only had 2 owners.
Only 2 owners? Oh, okay.
Right, exactly. It's always, let's say 2 families.
Well, okay.
The first owner was Andrew Jackson Caldwell from 1847 all the way up until 1920. He dies in 1866. It becomes his wife's, Harriet's. She sells it in 1918 to Dr. Williams from Nashville. He comes and lives in it until 1954. He has it to his wife and his niece. His niece couldn't obviously take care of it. They started putting it all together, and they started renting the property, and it became rental property for a while. They had a real hard time keeping rental people. Can you imagine that?
No, I can't imagine. Oh my gosh.
So there's a lot of old stories about that.
Oh, I bet.
But, yeah.
Yeah. Let's run a video. We've got a video here that is pretty cool, I think, that you shared with us. What
you got two cool videos. One of them was the most darndest weirdest thing that I still haven't wrapped my head around, but we'll see what.
Okay, the door is shutting in this video. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this is actually a video of, we have camera systems in it. We watch the camera, and obviously we're not always in the hall all the time, but the cameras are for both to catch paranormal and for security purposes. Some of them, early one morning before we're all there, guess what happens?
Jeez.
You know, you hear in this video, you hear a boom like that, and all of a sudden you'll see the door go.
Oh wow! Yeah,
and
it looks like it's about.
It closes and it makes like a bell ring.
Yeah, 6:28 in the morning. It says on the clock.
Yeah. And believe me, we're not there till 9.
You're not there till 9, so nobody did that. Oh my goodness! Oh, that's great footage. Yeah.
But it is super. And the other one we put up is really a great one.
Yeah, we just have the one, Barry.
You just have the one?
Yeah,
I'll have to send you one. Because one of the best videos, one of the, if you don't mind me talking about this one.
No, go ahead.
It really screwed my mind up. And it still does to this day. I haven't been able to pinpoint. It actually scares us. It scares me because I'm worried and concerned about the hall. Because what actually happened was at 3 o'clock in the morning, a candelabra that did not have a candle in it actually lit.
No, are you serious?
Actually
it lit on its own?
Lit on its own.
Ooh.
We actually watched it on the video, and it actually snuffs itself out.
What?
And then it lights back up again.
Not once, but twice?
Twice, and then it goes out again.
Oh, geez.
And I'm like going, that's far. That is actual far. Well, when we get there, you know what the really weird part about it is?
Oh, that wasn't weird enough yet?
I'm going to get to, that was weird. So, but when you look down by where the candelabra was sitting, there was wax on the floor.
No.
Melted wax on the floor.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I sounded like going,
yeah.
How did that happen?
Oh my gosh. Oh wow.
Yeah. But it's that's the kind of thing that Latino brings. But it scares the heck out of you because you're like going, if they can bring or start fire.
If they can start a fire.
They can burn the house down. They can do anything else that they want to do. So we try to keep them happy.
Yeah, into the fire, right? The radio show, into the fire.
Right, exactly. So you know what? When you see that kind of stuff, and we examine that thing over and over again, and one of the hard things about it, it's silver, and it looked like a welder's arc hit it. That's how much energy was in it. Most of the time when you light a candle, you can go in there and you can scrub it off and everything else. No, this actually put like a weld onto it. So whatever had enough energy to be able to go.
Wow, no, that was a powerful. That was a powerful entity.
Yeah, it actually looked just like, it was above candelabra. You could actually see the reflection on the door behind it. So it was quite the video. I'll tell you what, though, I'll try to send it to you because I'd love to have your thoughts on it.
Yes, I want to see it. Sign me up. I want to see this. Man, I can't watch it at night, though, because I won't sleep. Oh, my goodness gracious alive. All right, well, that's pretty cool. So would you have to say that's like your all-time favorite paranormal event that's happened at the Octagon Hall, or is there a different one?
I've had so many of them, and it's funny. I've actually been run out of the hall A lot of people don't like to talk about that, but that's just the way it is because what we do, fear of flight, the fear of flight comes on you when, you get scared or something happens to you, your body goes, hey, this isn't right.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, your feet are going to get up and move.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be the toughest guy in the world. And then at other times, I can sit there and sit in the chair and watch them walk right up to me and go, ooh, and like, oh, okay, big deal.
Oh
okay.
my gosh! So what spooked you that made you run out? That I got to know. I got to ask.
Well, it was really funny. I had broken my foot, and I was in there doing some work, and I was at the end of the table, and I hear this very weird noise going on, and I was like, well, what the heck is that noise? And I got up and started looking around, and I looked over like this. And the next thing I know, there is a full body apparition of a soldier with half of his face missing.
Wow.
And he had suspenders on, a white T-shirt button down, the old fashioned style, nothing, gray wool pants. I got in just a few seconds when I saw, I got to see the full Monty of him.
Oh, wow.
And all of a sudden, I'm holding something in my hand. And I'm like going, oh, hell no. And I just took off going. And I remember I had a broken foot, and I think I made it out to the, on the back porch in about 2 seconds flat.
And broken foot and all.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So you just turn around and you kind of go, oh. But, there's times when the energy gets so thick at Octagon Hall and so many different things happen there.
Any negative? You sometimes get a little negative entities in there, you think? Or
I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah, we do, because you have to remember something, that we have people coming there all the time.
Right.
And, the Octagon Hall is an octagon-shaped building. It was a Masonic building. He was involved in the Masonic Lodge.
Masonic Lodge, yeah.
Yes. And so some people say it's built like a spirit trap. And when
a spirit trap.
other people come there and they're there, their energies and everything else can tend to stay there.
Well, and also
right.
maybe escalate. Right.
Escalated, or else something will leave them and want to stay there, choose to stay there. And it's just that kind of thing. So we deal with that.
You probably not. I don't want to get too gory, but I mean, you probably have body parts of different soldiers and stuff, in that area. Obviously, from the Civil War.
One of the things about the property is that yes, we had 9,000 soldiers that were Confederates. They went through. Before they got there, they were in Bowling Green, and there was this artillery attack. No gun battle or anything else. They just they took the high ground and shelled Bowling Green for 3 days.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And you know how shelling and everything else can do to you. So what was left of the Confederate forces, they picked up their wounded and they moved down south. Yeah. So as they did, they found the Octagon Hall. It had rail access. It had everything that they would need to. It had an octagon-shaped building. If you were looking at it, you could see from every window. And from the cupola, you could see way up there. So it is a beautiful site. It is a high building. And when you get up to different floors, you can see that you have every window, every side of the house, 8 sides with all windows in it.
Yeah, it's
you get
perfect.
an opportunity to see everything. So,
right. Oh, I want to come up there. I got to make a field trip to Kentucky, my friend.
Oh, darling, you're welcome at any time, please.
You
have an open invitation.
Yeah, it'll check mark everything off for me. My UFO fascination and my paranormal. It'll just check them all off.
We'll just go and what we'll do is we'll plan a few days. We'll do ghost hunts. We'll go out and look for Bigfoot because
you do Bigfoot hunting too. Oh man, I'm so in.
Yeah, well, and it's funny, and we've had
we have a picture
reports.
of that, Barry. Not to interrupt you, but we got a picture of your Bigfoot that you sent.
Yeah,
where was that? Is that out there at?
That's at Octagon Hall. That's a footprint that was found on the back of Octagon Hall.
Oh, wow.
We had an experience out there. We started looking for it. It's a footprint that was found. I have another video of, I put trap cameras out and everything else. I do have some trap cam shots that are quite interesting.
Oh my gosh.
The hall has everything. It has a little bit of everything. It is a magical place. It's an
It is
ancient
magical.
place.
Man,
So,
oh man. Can you believe we only have 2 minutes left of the show?
no, it's not fair.
It's not fair. It's not. I know. It's just like when I'm on your show. It's like time just flies. We get
Yeah.
to talking about our stories and everything. So let's just circle back with this last minute and a half or so. Let's circle
Sure.
back to UFOs and intergalactic extraterrestrials. What has been your favorite case so far on UFOs with MUFON? What's your favorite case?
Oh, there's several of them.
No.
That's not even fair. That's not fair. I mean, I've done so many of them.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's a lot of it, and it's hard to put that way. I always look at, cases I done was not MUFON is Eric Mitchell's case. I love Eric Mitchell's case.
Yes.
And we were very
Hi,
close to
Eric. Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good guy, too. We're going to get him on the show sometime, too. So.
Oh, he's a great person. And, I'm working on one also because it deals with abductions, it deals with the crafts, it deals with all this stuff, plus his physical changes. And I've also got another one in Kentucky that's over on Eastern Kentucky. That's the same way. It's another abduction case. And in fact, even that case I had a personal interaction where I had missing time when I was visiting the area that this witness and I both went to. So we both had an experience, and it became another type of situation where, call another investigator.
Yeah,
Cool.
part of it. So. Oh my gosh. Well, I tell you what, Barry, I got to get you back on the show sometime soon because we need to talk another whole hour about that stuff. But you got a lot. Yeah, you got a lot going on. You got your show, you've got your investigations and everything. And it's just been such a joy. Plus, you're my West Virginia buddy. So that's
there you go.
And I'm going to plan a trip up to Kentucky. I'm telling you, I'm coming up there. But until next week, I thank you so much. Until next week's episode, I want everybody to keep looking up.